Morning troops, another day, another river. Bit of a late start for me today. I'll run through the swim with you in a minute. It's like everywhere, river's well in flood. I mean, it's full, the water's dropping, there's not a lot of debris coming down, but it's bombing through, so it's I'm going to have a nice little pleasant day, fishing the margins, fishing the slack water, looking for them pike. I'll show you the swim in a minute. I've picked a swim where I've got some reed beds creating some slack water. Hopefully the prey fish sheltering. Hopefully the pike will be patrolling as well, looking for those fish in slack water. So it's, hopefully that we're going to have a nice pleasant day. It's sunny, drying all my gear out from the last trip I had, which I didn't film. I was fishing in the rain. I had a few fish, but I wasn't filming. I was, it was chucking it down in rain. I had a good day, but not brilliant. But everything's wet, so this is perfect. Dry everything out now, and catch a few pike into the bargains. Without further ado, let me show you this swim, and let me show you the state of the river. It's when you get to places like this, I don't blame you if you turn around and say, sorry, I'm not fishing it, but you've got limited time on the bank. I'm not a full-time fisherman, nothing like that. If I get a day off work, I was working all night, I got to attack it, and I haven't put a session up on the Whiffam yet this autumn, so beginning I had a short session, had some nice doubles out, but it's been a good, well, the whole of October really, and most, and now we're mid-November, so I haven't caught a fish up here since then. So we'll have a little dabble, see what we can do. I reckon we're going to catch. I'll show you. Yeah, I mean, flood water, the fish are still there. They'll still feed. You can't go out mid-water, but then the fish won't be holed up mid-water. It's bombing down too far, too fast. So they'll be in the margins. Could be in the far margins, they could be in the near margins. So we're going, as I say, we're going to explore the slack waters, the back eddies now, and hopefully we'll have a few fish out today. So here we are. The river's well up. Normally I'd be sitting there where the water is. A road rest would be where the edge of that reed bed is. As I say, there's the first one in the slack water, right behind that, right off the back of that reed bed in the slack water. That's where I'd normally be fishing. In my dreams, that's where I'd normally be sitting, slip of the tongue. Yeah, that's where I'd normally be sitting on this swim. So you can see how high up it is, and that is there. That is 12 foot of water there. My stop knot set at 14 foot. That's 12 foot of water just there, right in the edge. Middle rod, bang middle of the swim. There's a whole lot of slack water in between the first and second rod. So I'm going to just explore all that way along, and then my right hand rod is all the way down the right hand track in front of another, well, they're not even reeds, they are bushes. They would normally be, let's say, that's normally where you'd be sitting, and that is again 12 foot of water, and I'm down there at the end of the run. So you've got a bit of slack water, and it's just starting to pick up again where that third rod is. Hopefully we'll have a good day, but I mean, it's chucking it through. It's sunny, there's a bit of a breeze, and that is chucking it through, isn't it? So no debris coming down, no, it's just rainwater. So hopefully we won't get too many false indications and we can fill our boots. We're the only one on here, probably been the only one on here for a couple of weeks now, it's been, it's been unfishable. So hopefully the pike are hungry. Just a case of finding them. And this is what you call floodwater success. Now it's been in there 5 minutes. It's not the biggest fish in the world, but it's a fish. We've been fishing 5 minutes. Here we are, floodwater success. Been fishing 5-10 minutes at the most, and we're away. Small sprat on a single hook on my paternoster rig. I'll show you it in a minute. That's my running water paternoster rig, and we're had one. Fishing a slack water on a flooded river. I'll run through it in a minute with you, but you find a slack water, hopefully you'll find a fish. Let's get him back. Hey, we're off and running. Floodwater success. Well, there we go. 5 minutes fishing. We've had a jack. Always cut my hands on a jack. The hands are too small for my big hands. But well, we're off and running, aren't we? That's the main thing. I was working all night. I was a bit lazy. I went home, had a shower, brushed my teeth, got a packed lunch made up and all that sort of thing. So I wasn't on the river till 8:30. It's now 20 to 9 and we've had our first pike of the session. So hopefully it won't be the last one hit wonder, but sometimes that can happen with a swim. There could be a pike lurking, but yeah. So we're fishing flooded river, as you can see. It's it's well flooded. I'm fishing in 14 foot of water. Got my stop knots set at 16 foot. That means even though my weight will hold the bottom, the power and the weight of the water will naturally bow your line. And if you've got your float set dead on the right depth, it'll just get dragged under. So you're over set your stop knot. Well over depth, like the old-fashioned strep pegging, if anyone can remember that, if anyone's as old as me. See, some of the things we learnt when we were youngsters come in handy 50 years later. Strep pegging, well, not exactly strep pegging for pike, but it's that kind of conditions. We're fishing very, I mean, technically I could put a 5 ounce weight on and go out a bit further, but then you run the risk of hitting loads of debris, loads of false indication. Me personally, and it's only a personal opinion, you can take it with a pinch of salt. When I'm fishing flooded waters, I like to fish the margins. And depending on where you're fishing, you want to look for a bit of slack water. Any slack water, it can be caused by a wall from a slipway. You can fish downstream of it, so it's sheltered. You've got that nice little bit of slack water. Like I'm fishing, like I'll show you in a minute. I'm fishing in the slack water of some reed beds, which would normally be the bank, but the water's that high, so the reed beds, all the fast water's going round them, and obviously you've got a bit of slack at the back, and that's where I'm placing my bait. 5-10 minutes, so we're in. So that's what you want to do, is go along. The slack water could be caused by a bend or a little kick in the river. It could be anything, overhanging tree. But one caveat I would put with that is you've got to know your venue. You don't want to be walking around on flooded banks and you don't know where you're putting your feet. You don't know where, I know this stretch like the back of my hand. I know where the bank finishes and the river starts. So I know how deep it can get when it's flooded. So I picked a safe swim with some slack water, and we've had one. Well, it's amazing how quickly things change on a natural venue. The water's dropped down about a foot in 4 hours, so now it's changed the whole dynamic of the swim. Now the slack water's in slightly different positions. The reed bed I was fishing to, instead of being completely submerged, is now coming out of the water. You've got to adjust your stop knots, move them around a bit, adjust everything. Always keeps you thinking, natural venues, always makes you work for your fish. And now it's gone from glorious sunshine to very cloudy, looks like it might rain on me. Just as I got everything dry. You know, it's been a lovely day sitting here in the sunshine, gentle breeze coming from behind me. Still got the free baits in, still casting every half hour, boosting them with oil every hour. Hoping there's some big girls around, but at the moment, very quiet. You know, so I've had one instant hit, but other than that, it's been which you expect. I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, fishing anywhere in flood is a gamble. I mean, the fish could all be tightly held up somewhere miles from me, sheltered. They could be 20 foot either side here, you don't know. But so we arrived, got a pike straight away, so obviously that pike thought there was stuff around, so you know, there's been cormorants when I arrived, there's egrets. Just got to persevere, keep doing what you know, trying to winkle out a fish. But at the moment, it's been a slow morning. You know, I expect, as soon as we got the instant hit, I expected maybe to have one or two more, but it wasn't to be. So, I mean, I've sat here in perfect conditions and not had anything all morning, and then the swims come alive in the afternoon. So we'll persevere, we'll crack on, we'll catch some fish. Let's go. Go and have a look at this river. It's beautiful today, it really is. Even though it's flooded, it's still beautiful. So we have one right at the start of the reed bed, one bang in the middle of the reed bed, and the other one in the slack water at the end of the reed bed. So we've pulled our chickens in one basket. We're hoping there's some pike hidden around this reed bed for us. Well, troops, another session drawing to a close. Still, this season we haven't, you know, we haven't blanked again. We've caught, might not be the biggest fish in the world, but in really ultra hard conditions, we managed to get a fish. So hopefully we'll get one before we go. You know, it's sometimes it depends on your outlook. You know, some people go fishing to catch loads of fish. We all want to catch half a dozen doubles, 20 here, and but you know, it ain't always going to be great conditions, great fishing. And we came out tough conditions, but you know, I've been fishing that long, and you never know. You know, if fishing for over 50 years has taught me anything, it's that you've got a bait in the right place at the right time, you're going to catch. So for me, it's worth the gamble on a day off. And am I prepared to sit in a swim and wait all day for one run from a big fish? Yeah, I am. So, you know, it's swings and roundabouts. You can have a day where you have run after run after run, and you know, brilliant. And other days you've got to put the graft in. As I say, it's pumping through. It dropped a foot in the first hour. It's rising again now. So obviously you've got about 15 miles downstream. You've got Boston. and they've got the flood defences there, sluices, everything, so they're probably running a lot of water off this morning. They probably shut them down, it's backfilling a bit, and the water's rising again. So our baits are more or less where they were when we first arrived. I've had to adjust the stop knots again, make it slightly deeper, but we're, we've got room with a chance. I'm going to boost the baits again in a minute and see if we can put a lot of fish oils in that water, see if we can attract a big gel before we go. Well, it's that time of year again. It's only 4 o'clock, but it's almost dark, so it's the witching hour. Can be the most productive hour of the day. So I never pack up when it's like this. The light levels are falling. It shouldn't make any difference really, because the water's chocolate brown. So, but you take any positive out of it, don't you? I mean, bit of a ponce. Look at me, look, straighten me out. You take a bit of any positive you can out of any situation. It's getting dark. Traditionally, it's the witching hour. The last knockings. That's when things happen. If they're going to happen, they're going to happen now. If I've waited all day for a 20 in the last half hour, you'd say it's worth it, wouldn't you? So we've had one. We ain't blanked. It's been a pleasant day. I haven't been at work, which is always a bonus, isn't it? You know what I mean? So we just got to sit here, hold tight, and I reckon a week to 10 days and this river will be perfect. At the moment, in this sort of flood conditions, I would say a roving approach would work a lot better. But my old knees, I'm not walking miles and miles in a day, but that's what you want really. I mean, when it's like this, you're going to catch, if you can find them, maybe 1 rod, 2 at the most, little quivers that carry them in, net, 1 bag for your bait and everything, and you worked your way along the stretch, you'd probably catch more than what I have. We've boosted the baits for the last half hour. We've got them all oozing oil. They're oozing oil. You can't get any more oil in them. So if there is something out there, they'll find that bait. It's really pungent and attractive to the fish down there. We ain't had much luck today, but nothing ventured, nothing gained. If this is the last time I speak to you, thanks for watching. I really do appreciate it. Hopefully we'll have something big before the end of this video. Hopefully. Let's crack on. Let's go and catch some fish. Well, troops, I know it don't look like it on the video, but it's almost dark now. These modern phones, the lenses are brilliant on them. It looks almost daylight in the picture, but it is really quite dark now. I've taken 1 rod in. I've got 2 baits now situated on the edge of the reed bed. 1 in the slack water to the right hand rod, and then the left hand rod is bang in front of the weed bed, hoping that these low light levels there's a big gel patrolling, looking for some prey, going to come across my bait. It really is now last chance saloon. Got to be in it to win it though, so we'll keep them baits out there till it gets dark.